Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. I am Riccardo Bernardini. I work at the University of Udine, and I guess you can smell my dressing code and my slides will smell like academic, but never mind. And I'm here to talk a little bit about an idea that we got at the University of Udine to organize a competition that rewards software maintainability and easy of reading and stuff like that. So, a brief outline. First, what is my objective with this talk? Then, what is the problem? What is the solution? What we are doing right now? And some conclusion. Yes, very academic. So, my objective is to tell you about this idea, about how to organize a competition that rewards software quality. And why do I want to do that? Because, first of all, I guess it's something interesting to share. Also, we are still working on this stuff, so we are open to feedback. We will be very happy to hear feedback from you. And also, of course, we are also searching for competitors, because a competition without competitors it's not going anywhere. So, the problem. Our idea was, usually people put a stronger emphasis on quality, software qualities like efficiency, or maybe how fast you can code. There is this well-known IEEE extreme programming competition. Or maybe also ingenuity of solution or stuff like that. But there are not many competition that rewards other aspects of software that, in our opinion, are also very important. So this, how good a software is written, how easy it is to maintain, to read, to modify. I have some experience in modifying open source code, both to correct maybe minor bugs, or sometimes to modify them for my work. I work in digital signal processing. And I have experience with, for example, a very well-known program that I wanted to modify for using my research, and the code is so confusing that in the end I gave up. So we decided to try to create a competition that rewards also this kind of quality. Those kind of competition are not common, and there is a very good reason. It's easy to measure how fast you can code. I say, code a shell sort algorithm. Start, stop, 20 minutes. Nice, that's easy. It's easy to measure how efficient a program is. Start, stop, that's nice. But how can you measure something like how easy it is to read a program, how easy it is to change it, to debug it? The first solution that comes to mind is peer review. Having someone looking at the code and say, oh, this is good, very well written, this is not so well written, and so on. But unfortunately, peer review is quite subjective, and people have usually very strong opinion about coding styles. For example, Hungarian notation. Just let me do a check. How many of you do know what Hungarian notation is? Okay, very good. How many of you do love it, do like it? Few hands. Okay, I guess the other one just hate it. Okay, I am in the second group, by the way. Casing convention. Do you prefer underscores, camel convention, mixed convention, and also there is the so-called section title convention that makes uppercase nouns and verbs, lowercase everything else. Code blocks. How do you write blocks? This way, with a large indent, small indent, using tab, using spaces. If you want to start a never-ending religion war, you just bring these arguments in some news group or something like that. And also, if you go to object-oriented programming, you get craziness. Any types of convention, those are just two that I experienced. So, peer review is not really a good solution. We need some way to measure in some, let's say, fairly objective way. We don't think that our solution is the ultimate solution, but something better than peer review. And the idea is, if you want to measure, for example, how easy it is to debug a code, and how robust is a code with respect to programming errors, well, let's just try it. So this is our recipe. Take a handful of programmers. Have the programmer write some code. Then take a handful of so-called spoilers. Gives the code to the spoilers, and the spoilers will, their objective is to put some nasty, subtle, maybe randomly appearing bugs in the code. Then you get some buggy codes. You take a handful of counter spoilers, give the buggy code to them, let marinate, and measure how much time the counter spoilers need to debug the code. At the end of the day, you have a data set where you have spoiled the program, counter spoiler, and debugging time. Intuitively, the debugging time is a function of the quality of the original program. If you write in, for example, obfuscated C, that's very easy to put a bug in it. And the quality of the counter spoiler. And on the other plate of the scale, you have the spoiler and the spoiling weight. The spoiling weight is a measure of the amount of code changed by the spoiler. Of course, if you let the spoiler change completely the code, it's too easy to put bugs in it. In order to take into account that the more you write, the easier it is to put bug, we take into account also of this spoiling weight. We are still working on what really spoiling weight means formally, but more or less it will be the number of lane changes or something like that. So, in the end, we have a set of times that depends on those quantities, and we want to split the data we have into the quantities. And for that, we need a model. Basically, we say that, I know, very academic. We say that the debugging time is a function of the score of the programmer, of the score of the spoiler, and score of the counter spoiler, plus the spoiling weight, plus some random noise, because of course it depends on maybe many other variables that we cannot handle. The idea is that we have a set of equations, one equation for each counter spoiled program. And we have this number of known. This is the number of programmers, the number of spoilers, and number of counter spoilers. And if you get enough data, we can solve the previous set of equations, maybe by least square or something like that. Those are just details that we need to fix, but details. At the end of the day, we have a score for everyone, so we can give prizes to everyone. We rewards the best programmer, the best spoiler, and the best counter spoiler. So the idea of giving prizes to everyone is that in this way, the spoiler and the counter spoilers have some motivation to try to do the best work as possible. This approach is about code robustness and easy to debug, something like that. But if you want, for example, to reward easy of changing the code, you can do something similar. This is the bell and whistle competition. You have the programmers that write the code. The code is given to, let's still call them counter spoilers for commodity, but to those counter spoilers, and to the counter spoilers we say, oh, add this and this new feature to the code. And you measure the amount of time required to add the feature. And still, the amount of time is a function of how well was written the code, how good the counter spoiler is, and how difficult it is to add the new feature. And basically the idea are the same. So how much time I have? Okay. What now? As I told at the beginning of my talk, we are still working on this. We are still designing a web interface for code submission and stuff like that. We are still thinking about the score model, the function that I showed you a few slides before, and we are going to do some experiments. The first few competitions will be mostly experimental because we need to see what it works and what it not. And if you want to keep in touch, I opened a LinkedIn group. There is this website, it's a Google site I just set up 2 days ago, not kidding, together with the LinkedIn group. And if you want, in the first slide, where is home? Here. In the first slide, there is my email address. So if you want, feel free to write me. And I guess that this is all. The usual slide of conclusion that we usually academic people do. So we have 2 minutes left before the time expires. No, we are still working on that. Sorry? Okay, he asked me that if we already did this competition yet. Not yet. We just started working on it, and we thought that this occasion was a good occasion to make, some to let people know about this. We hope to be able to do in during this year. Okay, the slide with the website. Sites, Google, counter spoiling